In this video, we'll see an overview of the integration process between Alaan and Dynamic 365 Business Central. First, select Dynamic 365 and then click on Continue. Let's see how the integration works. Expense accounts and tax codes will be imported to Alaan, where they will be mapped to the corresponding expense categories and tax codes. Account statements, card expenses, and receipts will be exported to Dynamic 365. Now, let's proceed to connect with Dynamic 365. You'll be redirected to a page where you need to install the Account Link extension. To install, click on the provided link. You'll be redirected to a page where you need to click Install. Once installed, you'll receive a notification confirming the successful installation of the extension. After installing the extension, navigate back to the previous page and confirm the completion of the connection. Please ensure that the extension has been successfully installed before moving further. To proceed, click Connect. Once completed, you'll be redirected to a page where you need to select your company registered with Dynamic 365 from the drop-down menu. Select your company and click on Connect. Once the synchronization is completed, you can proceed to the next step. Moving on to the tax code, we import tax codes from Dynamic 365 and map them to corresponding accounts. Please note, any existing tax code in Alaan will be deleted. Once the tax code is imported, the tax name, code, and statuses will be displayed. To proceed, click on the Next Step button. The following step involves importing of expense accounts from Dynamic 365. Import accounts from your accounting tool and map them with the corresponding expense categories and tax codes. To move forward, click on Import Accounts. By selecting Yes, Confirm, you grant permission to Alaan to replace all existing GL accounts with expense accounts imported from Dynamic 365. To proceed, click Yes, Confirm. At this point, it's necessary to map the expense accounts required to export Alaan card expenses to at least one category. If additional categories are required, simply click on the Add Category option and add as many categories as needed. Now, let's map a fuel expenses with vehicles, which will be mapped with a default tax code, no VAT. We'll also map a travel expense with vehicle expenses, which will be mapped with a miscellaneous 10 VAT default tax code. You can also map these expense categories later in the Settings tab. Let's move to the next step, which is Create a Bank Account. If you don't already have an account for Alaan on Dynamic 365, create a new bank account. Alternatively, you can select an existing bank account to sync the expenses made on Alaan card and bank statements to Dynamic 365. To create a new account, click on this option. Here, we'll select an existing bank account that we have and connect it to the selected bank account. Once the setup is complete, we can proceed to the next step. The accounting setup is now complete, and we are ready to review and export your spend on Alaan from the accounting view. Remember, you can adjust the setup anytime in your settings. To finalize, click on Finish. Now we can see that the Dynamic 365 integration is complete, and we can also verify in the Settings tab. To export any of your expenses from Alaan to Dynamic 365, navigate to the Accounting tab. Proceed to the Expense to Prepare tab where you'll find all the expenses. Suppose you want to export an expense titled Apple. Click on this option and fill out all the mandatory fields such as memo, upload the receipt, fill out the expense categories, expense accounts, and also fill the tax codes, which are mandatory. Once this is complete, review the approvals, override and approve them if necessary and possible. Once this is done, you can mark these expenses as ready. The expenses that have been marked as ready can be found in the Ready to Export tab. To check that, let's navigate to the Ready to Export tab located in all categories. As you can see, the expenses are listed here. Now, let's select this and export them. The exported expenses will be visible in the Exported Expense tab. To check that, let's navigate to the Exported Expense tab. As we can see, the status is Export in Progress. Once the export is complete, the status will change through Alaan. Log into your Dynamic 365 portal with your admin account. Navigate to the Finance tab and select the General Journals section and choose your account to review expenses from Alaan. This section shows all expenses exported from Alaan to Dynamic 365, including key details like posting date, document type, and account information. The exported expense from Alaan to Dynamic 365 includes all essential details and attachments, such as receipts. Click the attachment to download it for review. If there are any changes required in the integration, navigate back to the Alaan web portal. Go to the settings. Here, you can make any necessary changes. For instance, if you need to change your bank account, you can do so by clicking on the provided option. If vendor mapping needs to be enabled, it can be done here. If you wish to disconnect Dynamic 365, select the corresponding option. That's all. Thank you.